Hi, in my previous video I have derived some formulas which I have written here. Now today I am going to establish the matrix for Sx, that is the x component of spin, Sx operator and Sy operators and their eigenstates. In my previous video I established the matrix for Sz and the basis plus minus and the S plus and S minus. So now I am going to establish the matrix for Sx and Sy. For that I have to remember that what I get in the experiment of Stern-Garlek, sequential Stern-Garlek. Now let's recall that in Stern-Garlek experiment, in sequential Stern-Garlek experiment, when there was electron going to a Stern-Garlek in x component. Okay, so this will divided to two components. One will be Sx plus and Sx minus, right? Now if I let this component go through another Sgz, we have seen that it will make two components which are positive and negative. Positive and negative are the Z component of spin. Okay. So positive and negative are the basis that I chose, and Sx plus and Sx minus are the spin along x axis, which is positive here in this case, and x component spin is negative here. Okay, and this is along z axis. So what I get, and similar thing here. For this beam, if I try to find the z component of spin, I get the same result, that is positive and negative. So we can see that from Sx positive we can have positive or negative. Okay, so Sx plus can be written as the supercomposition of positive and negative, right? And the probability of getting this plus will be half, and this is half. This is experimental fact. So this was the main step. Now when I try to find the positive, okay, I should get 1 by root 2, because the mod square will be half, that is the probability of getting positive will be half. Similarly for minus, same thing will happen. So this Sx positive is linear combination of this positive and this negative. So positive plus now what is this thing? Now we can multiply any arbitrary complex number, okay, for this negative or this positive, because when I do this thing, when I do scalar product with this thing, with this negative, it will give me this e power I delta 1 by root 2. Now when I try to get the mod square of this will eventually cancel, because this is this delta 1 real. So we can multiply this thing, okay, without losing the generality of this equation. Now you may say that why didn't I multiply this thing with positive? I can, okay. So the main thing is that what is the physical significance here is that the relative phase difference between positive and negative. In spite of putting this thing here, I can put this thing here, okay. So I can also put here e to the minus any real number. So it may change, but it will not lead me to any new physical result because this is a real number. So when I try to get the probability, it will eventually cancel. Okay. Now, what will be the case for Sx minus is same because this is also superposition of positive and negative, but this state and this state are the orthonormal state. Okay, so for this orthogonality, we must put a negative sign here. Right? So you can check this thing. When you scalar product this thing with this thing, it will lead me to 0, and the 0 comes because I have put this negative here. So this negative is because of that orthogonality between these two states. Now I got the states, the positive states for Sx and negative states for Sx. Now what will be the case? What will be the formula for Sx, the operator? Sx. Now we can derive the equation for Sx from with the help of this thing. But when I choose the basis, here the basis is Ai. Okay. So when I choose the basis to be the eigenstates of X, I get this formula, right? If you remember my previous video, when I choose the basis as the basis are the eigenstates of this operator, we get this equation from this equation. Now I can choose positive and negative. I can choose positive and negative for the basis here. Okay, for the basis to formulate this thing. But I have already the eigenstates for Sx. This and these two are the eigenstates for Sx. So I am going to use this Sx positive and Sx negative as the basis for this equation. Okay. Now if and what will be the Ai's? Ai's will be positive half and negative half. Okay. So the formula will be here. For Sx positive, Ai will be half. So half. Ai is this thing. So okay. And for this thing, Ai will be minus half. So there will be a minus and Sx minus. Okay. So by putting the value of Sx positive and Sx negative, I can get the formula for Sx. Now I have the result in my khata. Sx will be half e to the power minus I delta 1 positive negative plus e to the power I delta 1 negative positive. Okay, so this will be the Sx. Okay, and this is the Sx positive and Sx negative. Now what about the Sy case? Now Sy, okay, now similarly if I has a electron and this goes to Sg along y axis, it will give me two component. One will be this, okay, and second will be this. So Sy positive and Sy negative. Now again when I put Sgz, it will again give me positive and negative. So Sy positive is also linear composition of positive and negative, and with the same argument I will have this thing. Okay, similarly Sy minus is also linear composition of positive and negative, and because of the orthogonality between this thing and this thing, here will be negative and this delta will be 2. And what will be the case for Sy? Similarly here it will be Sy and Sy here will be this, it will be 2 and it will be also 2. So I got the formula for Sx, Sy and their basis. But one thing which is undetermined here is delta 1 and delta 2, right? I put an arbitrary real number delta 1 and delta 2. Now, from where can I get the value of delta 1 and delta 2? What is the relation between delta 1 and delta 2? Now we can get the value of delta 1 and delta 2 with another sequential Stern-Gallagher experiment, which is that now if this was Sgx, now it will give me Sx positive and Sx negative. Now if I had put Sgz, I have in previous case put an Sgy. In the previous case I have put in the Sgz. If I put Sgy, the same thing will happen. It will give me both components, Sy positive and Sy negative. So the probability of getting Sy positive from Sx positive is half, right? And similarly the probability of getting Sy minus from Sx plus is also half. So what is the meaning of that in mathematics? The case is if I scalar product Sy positive or negative with Sx positive or negative, I will always get 1 by root 2. So I have more than one equations, right? And if you put the Sy positive or negative and Sx positive and negative equations, the equation that I just derived in this equation, okay, you can derive the value of delta 1 and delta 2. The value will be that delta 2 minus delta 1 will be pi by 2. How I get this? The formula that I just derived for Sy positive and Sy negative and Sx positive and Sx negative, I will use those equations and I will put those equations in this equation and I will get this thing. Now the convention is that delta 1 is taken to be 0. We can take this. I told you that the thing is that these things are arbitrary. These numbers are arbitrary. But we have to maintain the relations between these arbitrary numbers. So if I take the value of delta 1 as 0, the delta 2 will be pi by 2. Okay, then there will be no harm. So delta 1 0 and delta 2 will be pi by 2. No harm done. So if I put these two values in my equation for Sx, Sy and Sx positive minus, positive negative and Sy positive negative, what will be the final result? The final result will be Sx positive or negative Sx positive and negative will be 1 by root 2 positive plus minus negative. This is the case for Sx positive and negative. What will be the Sx? Xx is half positive negative plus negative and positive. Okay, and what will be the Sy positive negative? It will be 1 by root 2 and positive plus minus I into negative. Okay, and what will be the Sy? Sy will be half minus I positive negative plus I negative positive. Okay, so these four equations will be derived if you put the values of delta 1 and delta 2 in the equations that I just derived few minutes ago. So from these equations I can have the matrix for Sx and Sy and the Sx positive minus, positive negative and Sy positive negative. This is very easy. Now let's have the matrix for Sx. Okay. Now I don't need these equations anymore. Let's derive the matrix for Sx. Okay, so x will be, now what is the formula? It is positive first element second element third I have the equation of Sx here. So when I scalar product positive from left side and positive from right side, I will get 0, right? I will get 0. So this element will be 0. Now when I scalar product positive from left side and negative from right side, I get this term, and this is half. Similarly, here negative from left side, positive from right side, this term. So this will be again half, right? And this will be negative, 0. So I got the matrix for Sx. Now what will be the matrix for Sy? Similarly, here will be positive Sy, positive. You can see this will be 0 because there is no positive and positive in both forms. So both slots, positive, negative, negative, positive. So this will be 0. Here is positive, Sy, negative, and this thing, right? So here will be minus I by 2, and here it is negative Sy, positive. Yes, this thing. So this is I by 2, and here it was negative Sy, negative, no term for this case. So it will be 0. So I got the matrix for Sy. Okay, what will be the matrix for this thing and this thing? Now, what was the formula for this? The elements were these were the elements, right? The column matrix. AI was positive and negative. So I scalar product positive with alpha is here this thing, right? And these are positive and negative are AI. So for the first term I scalar product positive with this thing. I get 1 by root 2. And second term I scalar product negative. So I get plus minus 1 by root 2. So this was the matrix for Sx plus minus. Similarly, let's do it here. Sy positive negative. So here same thing. I will scalar product this positive with this sy positive negative. So it will be again 1 by root 2. And when I scalar product this negative with this sy positive negative, it will be plus minus I by root 2. So it will be just plus minus I by root 2. So this is the matrix for sy positive negative. So I got what I promised to get. Okay. Now, why am I doing these things? The matrices of Sx, Sy, the Sz and their bases, these are the just mathematical representation of the main physical things like observables, the Sx, Sy, Sz, and the physical states, that is the Sx positive negative, Sy positive negative, and the positive negative, which are the positive negative component of Sz. These are the main physical things, and the matrices are the mathematical formulation. So in later case, in later videos, in later chapters, when I try to find the physical relations, when I try to find a result, I will need these matrices. So I better derive these matrices from this video, in this video. So now the compatibility, okay, the compatible and the incompatible. I will just give the definition of compatible operators. And incompatible operators. I will just give the definition for these things, and that will be the thing for today. So compatible operators are, suppose I have x and y, two operators, okay, and suppose I have a state alpha. If alpha is eigenstate for both x and y, like if x operate on alpha, I will get an eigenvalue, say a1 with alpha. So alpha is eigenstate for x, and if y operate on alpha, I get a2 alpha. So alpha is also eigenstate for y. Now if I try to find this, what is the definition of this? This is xy and yx. Now, in the first video of mathematical formulation of operators, I told that in general the operators x and y do not commute. So, if they commute, this will result 0, right? xy and yx will give me, negative will give me what? 0. But in general, two operators do not commute. Now, what will be the case here? If x and y shares same eigenstate. Now, to check this is operator, right? I can have the result with just this operator. I have to operate this operator with some state. So, let's operate this thing with a state alpha. What will be the case? If you say y first operate on alpha, will give me a2 alpha, then x will operate on alpha, will give me a1 alpha. So a1, a2 alpha, same for a1, a2 alpha. This will be 0. So what I got here is, when two operators shares same eigenstate, here this is alpha, these two operators will commute, and these two operators are called compatible operators with respect to each other. Now, if they don't share same eigenstate, if alpha is eigenstate for x only, alpha is not eigenstate for y, so this will not give me this eigenvalue equations. When y operate on alpha, as alpha is not the eigenstate for y, it will give me new operator, new state. Say alpha 3, because alpha is not the eigenstate of y. Now when I do this, it will not give me 0. You can check this. Okay. So when two operators shares eigenstate, these two will commute. But when they do not share same eigenstate, okay, the eigenstate for x and eigenstate for y are different, then these two operators will not commute. Then it will be called incompatible operators. Okay, so remember these two definitions. These two definitions are really important. I will need these two, this whole topic in later for very interesting case. Okay, so so that's it for today, and thank you.